What's good, y'all? Welcome to Head to Head. The dynamic duo is back for another week. Jordan Morandini alongside David Horak. And it's been a mysterious last couple of games for the men's basketball team, with some thinking it was time for Jubril Adekoya to make a return, and others thinking he's done for the year. David, given what you know and we know now, do you think we will see Jubril Adekoya in a Crusader uniform again this year?
Well, my opinion is no. Based on the lack of information, other than the fact that this has shifted from a university matter to an academic matter from the university and the athletics department, and the fact that the timeline of Jubril Adekoya's last appearance was back on December 7th at Kentucky. Last home appearance was the Rhode Island top 25 win. Other than that, there's no speculation, there's no assumptions that can be made to solidify anything else at this point. I mean, at this point, given the lack of information we have, it's basically a guessing game from this point forward until we are given the full report for the full investigation that continues to happen for Jubril and whatever else is involved. I mean, here's the thing. I think the bigger question here should be how will this shape the men's basketball program moving forward, because you have a first-year head coach, a 14-year assistant head coach, as well as two other assistant coaches also in their first year here at Valparaiso. And you got to think they are taking on a lot of luggage. They're taking on a lot of baggage with Alec Peters returning back, who, again, by the way, I have to comment, he did a fantastic job in keeping his character, being very charismatic, and respecting and honoring his teammate with number 23 the other night. I have to include that. But the bigger question is, and I'll return this to you, is how will this shape the basketball program, aside from you answering, will we see Jubril in a Crusader uniform again?
Well, yeah, that's a legitimate question you have to look at now. I mean, is this something that could really affect the program, down the road? At this point, I think it's clear that it is an NCAA matter. I think it's in the hands of the NCAA. The athletics program, they did come out with that release a while ago, and it pretty much cleared him of any crime activity or anything like that. So it's pretty clear that it's an academic issue. Right. So it has to be, at first people thought it was honor code, but now as long as this has been dragged out, you have to believe now it's in the hands of the NCAA. Lately there's been a lot of people that have been coming kind of behind in Jubril's defense. We saw the students section in the last game have the free Jubril chant. We saw, Alec Peters with the jersey. We then saw his dad, which I thought was extremely interesting, on Twitter come out and really talk in Jubril's defense, kind of describe why Alec did what he did. So there's a lot of people I think that think Jubril has a legitimate chance and should be playing right now, but again, I think it's clear. It's an NCAA matter, and like you said, I think this is something that, given this comes out, whatever he did, if it's really bad, it is something I think that could potentially affect the program. Yeah,
regardless of what is going on at the moment, we cannot verify any other further information. We can speculate who is involved, if there are more people involved than Jubril Adekoya, if this is something involving with other coaches, if this is more of a pass the buck issue in terms of handing it to a higher coach in which they mishandled the situation. Regardless of what's going on, it's definitely going to hurt the program at least short term, but Jubril Adekoya, at least, he won't be seen in a Crusader uniform. So again, the thing is, it's a guessing game that we continue to play back and forth. And people can speculate what has happened, what will happen, if there are any sanctions, if there are any consequences other than Jubril's absence that will be punished upon the Valpo basketball program, if not the athletics department as a whole. We can continue to speculate. We can continue guessing back and forth what's going to happen, what did happen. But at the same time, just like, the spelling of the word assume, it makes out of you and me a three-letter word I cannot say on educational television. So, that being said, we cannot speculate anymore. We just have to roll with the punches in terms of the information that is given to us by the university, as well as the NCAA and the Horizon League, if they are involved with this, which most likely is the case because of how suppressed the leaking of information, or lack thereof in this case, has been going on further. So Jubril Adekoya, you and I both agree. He's most likely, 99% sure, not going to be seen in a Crusader uniform because there are no signs of that happening in the near future. And as for the men's basketball program in terms of how will they will be moving forward. Well, time will only tell in terms of what will come out of the university, the Horizon League, and the NCAA, whichever investigating parties are involved. That being said.